Don's Freshwater Shrimp. Now what we've noticed with shrimp is they have very defined ribbing along with multiple colors, especially the blue dun that I'm going to add on this fly. So make sure you have these materials ready before you tie the fly. For the hook, we'll use a size 10 Scud pupa. We'll tie with some 8/0 pale olive thread. We'll use some small olive liquid lace for the rib, a 7/64 inch gold tungsten bead for the bead, some olive grizzly saddle for the hackle, some blue dun ostrich herl for the body, and some Gulf and normal UV resin for the back. So to start the fly off, I put my bead onto the hook with the small diameter towards the eyelet, and we're just going to tie on our thread. Now we're going to tie on our liquid lace, and this is going to be kind of the rib of the body. Tie it in just behind the bead and wrap it back to the hook. And pull on the material to keep it thin. Now that we have the liquid lace tied in, I'm going to take my hackle. And this is important, you're going to start about halfway on the hook and tie it in. And leave some hackle there. As you wind back, a little bit of this hackle is going to splay out and form a small tail for you. Now that we have the hackle tied in, I've taken 2 strands of my ostrich herl, and I'm going to tie it in right behind the bead and wrap back to the hook end. Now with everything tied in, I'm going to actually pull up my hackle and my ostrich herl. I'm going to take my liquid lace, I'm going to wrap it one wrap behind all that material, and then we're just going to start forming the segments of the body, leaving space for your hackle and your ostrich herl as you go up. And just lightly pull on this material so you get nice segmentation on the fly. Now this sequence is very important. You want to take your hackle next, and we're going to wrap this up, and again follow the ribbing. So follow the gaps that you created with that liquid lace, and you can form some really nice long legs on the fly. Just follow it all the way up to behind the bead. Now that we have the legs tied in, we're going to trim off the top and the sides. So trim everything nice and tight to the top and the sides. Trim off all that long hackle on the sides. It seems like a waste, but all we want is those long legs going straight down on the fly. Nothing on the top or the sides. Now that we have the hackle tied in and trimmed, we're going to again follow up all that hackle and all those gaps exactly with our ostrich herl. Now the important thing here is wet your fingers and just pull all that material down. Don't cut any ostrich herl unless you've got any fibers sitting up on the top. If you've got a couple loose ones, just get rid of them. But again, just pull all that material down and then whip finish behind the bead. Do not cut any ostrich herl. So now that we've wet the material and pulled it all down, you're going to have all the legs, all the long legs and short legs, all on the bottom of the fly. Now what we're going to do is take some UV finish, just the thin stuff to start, the normal, and just give it a coat to hold everything in place. I just like to give it a coat of the normal stuff first. And cure it. Now they have one coat of the clear UV finish on there. I love this Gulf medium. Clear medium, it's nice and thick, and it really adds a nice layer to it. So you want to finish the fly off with a layer of the clear finish on the top. Again, not a whole bunch at the back, but just make sure you get quite a bit on that top. You want it to be fairly thick. So there it is, Don's Freshwater Shrimp. It's a great pattern to have when the fish are feeding on shrimp, and it's got all the great ingredients you need for shrimp. Really good defined ribbing and the right colors. Make sure you have some in your fly box.